Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second episode at the MFT Pod. Your host is Flemix, and here accompanies me, the TakeOn.
What's up, Flemix? How's your day going?
Pretty good, man. Just no work today. It's my day off. Luckily, I didn't get lazy to do this second episode. So I do want to thank everyone who gave a shot and listened to the podcast. Shout out to you guys for giving me a little bit of motivation and giving me not being lazy and finally locking in.
Had to clap this out loud. Honestly, man, thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving us a shout out on Threads. It really means a lot. It gave us a more of a kickstart to want to keep doing this because it was fun. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I will say that our last podcast resembled almost like we were in a phone call. Hence why our thumbnail was us on a phone call because that's literally what it was. Except that this time we're recording our conversations and we're putting it out to you guys.
I know.
What's going on in wrestling? But I'm glad your day was good. I'm glad your day was good, Flemix. You feeling well rested up?
Hell yeah. Had Mimi's. Had a good Panda Express. Shout out to the Dodgers who won and gave me that $6.50 plate. Good plate. How about you?
Man, for me, I had a busy day. But you know what? I'm going to Mexico today. Well, tonight. I'm leaving tonight, like at 12 midnight.
I
So
know. So that's why we gotta record this real quick because I know I keep homeboy over here has to pack up his things and get ready to watch some AAA and CMLL. How excited are
yeah,
you, man?
I'm pretty excited, man. Pretty excited. The only one show that I'll ever watch for AAA, just that. But I'm definitely excited for Consejo. I know my girlfriend is definitely excited for Consejo. I mean, cause who isn't? You know, it's an attraction. It's a
Man,
touristic attraction. But
technically,
I'm
sorry
sorry.
about that. Technically speaking, will that be the last like AAA show now that it's, well, not necessarily the last show, but I'm saying like having any significance to like without being influenced by the WWE, or when is technically the last show, quote unquote, when it's finally um governed by
We'll have to
TKO
hear.
and WWE?
I have yet to hear, but I can keep you guys updated after the Guerra de Alancia show. But I mean, honestly, in Mexico, what's always going to be known as el Consejo. The Consejo is pure lucha libre. So, Arena Mexico, man, we're going. That's where we're going. I'm pretty excited. But going back to how my day went, it was a very busy day. But like I said, when everything comes at you once in public safety, you just face it head on and go through your day. And once the day's over, all you can really look forward to is just having a chill time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I guess we could start finally talking about the podcast a little bit. So I really want to talk about, obviously the new sign employees, I guess. Rusev and Aleister Black, also known as Malachi Black or Miro in AEW. They all came back to the Fed. Now, one of my questions, and I think I posted this on Threads, and I'm gonna be honest, I do get lazy to post, but sometimes I have it on my thoughts and I'm just like, let me post it. But my question is, what's gonna happen to them? Like, are they gonna be pushed for like a singles title? Are they gonna be pushed for any particular title, or are they gonna be just stuck in mid card? Or as homeboy over there, um,
Andrade.
Andrade, yeah, that's another case, which I'm genuinely upset because he should have won the US title over bum ass LA Knight, but that's
Drag,
another topic.
Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's another one that deserves to be in a better spot. You think that he would have been a better position in AEW than he would have in WWE? Dragon Lee? You think he would have been placed in a better position in Dralístico?
Honestly, I don't know. Obviously, I know. Let's be honest, both companies suck at with their luchadores. We can't give the benefit of the doubt like, oh, the WWE is worse, and then obviously the AEW has its own flaws as well. And unfortunately, just Lucha Libre isn't just a main attraction to the US audience, which sucks because there's so much potential. Like Dragon Lee, who should have been in WrestleMania, I think 40 or 41, I forgot. And they took him out. And they replaced him with, who did they replace him with? I totally forgot.
They
They replaced it with someone. But essentially that was just BS.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick. Who was Dragon Lee replaced?
Let me see.
He was replaced by Andrade. Yeah, he was replaced by Andrade. He was originally scheduled to team with Rey Mysterio against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania XL Night 1. However, an attack backstage rendered him unable to compete, and Andrade was then announced as his replacement. So it wasn't really bad. I mean, what do you think about that, man? They're both two talented Mexican luchadores, but what do you think about that? Dragon Lee was both former Los Ingobernables members, now in WWE, were swapped out. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man. I just, like, I'm a fan of Dragon Lee. It's just, I don't know what's going on with the booking. Like, he was a star. He literally had a feud with Dominic in NXT with the North American Championship. He obviously went up to the roster because I think that was part of his contract, if I'm not mistaken, where the reason why he signed was he was partially in NXT and then put to the main roster. But now that he's in the main roster, it's garbage. It's like, I get it. I think I seen it in somebody's thread. It's all about popularity, right? It's all about the whole getting over with the crowd. But it's like, how are you supposed to get over with the crowd if they're not given that opportunity? And that opportunity isn't given. And it's like the bum ass president of the WWE, I think Nick Khan, who, quote unquote, we don't bench people like the other company. But these people in suits and ties are literally not putting their words, because it's like, bro, like, you guys are benching wrestlers. Like, you guys are not giving an opportunity. Instead, you guys are giving opportunities to, no, never mind. Remember, we're not calling him that. Jimmy's brother, the world heavyweight champion, an opportunity with Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. You know, I ran into a post that I'm gonna give a shout out to one of the threaders, I Blade Daily, because he can be valid. But he commented on a post, literally counter arguing, saying this is like the most ball licking, glazing post ever on Threads. But it was essentially saying that if Vince didn't leave office, then AJ Styles wouldn't have job to Logan Paul, or The Rock wouldn't be sitting at home, etc., etc. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Can you give me a little bit, like, clarify, like, can you give me a little bit more clarification? Because remember, I don't think I seen wrestling during AJ Styles.
I would have to go back and find it in the app, which is far back to find already. I probably have to go to his profile to find that because of his response. Hilarious. Continue.
But essentially, it's like, yes, they were given, obviously, these new stars like Penta, Ray Phoenix. They're just hiring a lot of people, and it's kind of getting bloated in a sense. Like, don't you think? Obviously, you don't watch the product, and I'm not saying that I'm watching it religiously, but it's more of a form like, what's next for these?
It's a caramel lake, bro, full of Mexicans in there and not utilizing them correctly. The only recognizable face is just Rey Mysterio. It's Rey Mysterio.
And Dominic Mysterio. I mean, he's Mexican American, but I mean, same with
he's getting up
Ray,
there.
But he's getting there to that level. But it's like, sorry, continue. No, continue. You continue.
a lot of them are being overshadowed. There's Penta. He just started. It's too early to tell what's gonna happen with him, Same with Phoenix. Dragon Lee, unfortunately, he's not in the position that he deserves. I wonder if he regrets or if he's just chilling there, making good
But
money and providing for his family. Then there's Santos Escobar,
in the
who's
mud.
not who in there's him who who prides himself as an ambassador of Lucha Libre because he's also another Lucha Libre Nepo baby. So he's amongst the Latino talent that are overshadowed. The only ones that will probably have made it up there have been Damian Priest. But again, he's not considered Mexican. He's Latino, but right
Isn't
now, what happened?
isn't that Triple H's like golden boy too, Damian Priest?
Most likely, most
Like
likely.
he's one of his favorites because Homeboy has been getting pushed, and I'm not necessarily a fan, but I mean he's okay.
I mean, he's cool looking. He's cool looking. I will say that for a big man, I find it pretty cool that he's pretty agile, pretty agile. They might probably have they might probably have a tight relationship backstage, and that's the reason why Damian Priest gets that advantage.
But speaking of Dragon Lee, let's hear about his brother, Roosh. Obviously, just a little like background. This man, the TakeOn, would literally text me, send me tweets, send me clips, send me videos like, watch this, of Roosh, and pretty much saying this man is gonna be the new star of AEW. So can you talk to me a little bit about that?
It for sure is disappointing, but you can't deny it, man. You can't deny that his matches, his demeanor, his energy, man. You can't deny it. That's undeniable. You can't deny it. Obviously, we both know that both promotions are not perfect, as we have just finished calling out WWE's issues. Then there's the AEW's issues with stars like Jay White or Rouge that have quite a resume before AEW. Actually, Rouge, a former draw in CMLL, a heel at that. He was a cash cow of CMLL because he was the biggest heel. And Jay White, former leader of Bullet Club, now in AEW, just a comedy toy version of Bullet Club, calling it the Bang Bang Gang. I don't know, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I said what I said about Roosh, and I stand by it. Maybe there are some things about him that could be fixed. Like I've read into an article that he's not that professional, so that could be a fix that I hope, if it's not true or if it is true, then he can work on, because that man is a star. He's he's in his I can't say if he's in his prime because injuries, we've seen him get injuries since he started, but in a pro wrestling in the United States, I think I've often said that Roosh would be the type of guy that would have definitely thrived in the territories, just based off the stories that I've heard from a bunch of people that were there. I feel like Roosh would have been someone that would have definitely fit in the territories. But again, I stand by it, and I'm sure you can't deny the energy that I've been trying to tell you that is quite fitting here in the U.S.
No,
Am I
no,
right? Or no?
definitely. No, you're right. And obviously you, as hyped as a fanboy you are, I'm just kidding. As the clips you used to show me, and it was very good. Like I genuinely was pretty excited to see his, um, pretty much what he was going to be in the promotion. They even made like a whole Instagram reel where he signed it, and obviously with TK involved. So I thought it was a big sign for him and his brother. Obviously, I mean, regardless of what promotion they signed for a reason. And but unfortunately, I think it's been more than 2 years or a year.
Yeah, and
And
I was
and
definitely looking. I was looking forward to their Los Ingobernables run, but even then that flopped because then Andrade left.
Left.
Rouge, Rouge was appearing less and less. Dralístico is, I don't know, somewhere eating catering now. And then Preston Vance is, went,
I hated that fool so much.
he's a faction hopper, man, because he goes from Dark Order to LFI to now being in this really corny faction in Ring of Honor called Frat House. All right, one more thing. I have not watched Ring of Honor. I did not watch Ring of Honor last week. So
Because nobody watches that show, so now only 19 people watch it. Sorry guys, the 20th person watching ROH is finally saying goodbye.
catching up though. I'm still catching up. We'll see. I'm still looking. I still want to see what they're gonna do with Nick Wayne.
You're not even gonna watch this week's episode, and you're gonna be in Mexico.
Hey man, I'll find my ways. I'll find my ways. The grinding stop. You know, I'm on vacay. I'm on vacay from my day job. Not for this though. This is all fun for me. I love interacting with you guys.
Awesome, awesome. But yeah, anyways, I just kind of want to like summarize that the Gonzalez brothers are in the mud. I don't know what.
Isn't it Munoz?
No, they're Gonzalez, no? Or
They're
Munoz.
Cool. We go by Munoz Gonzalez. That's cool. Continue.
But yeah, and then we'll see what the WWE does with all of these new stars they're hiring. Obviously, let's see, cause there hasn't been any free agents that have been sparking except I guess Mariah May. But other than that, let's see what happens if they're gonna succeed in the promotion that obviously fired them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of WWE, you know, we were just talking about Rusev and Alistair. I can't even call him Alistair Black.
Malachi Black. It just doesn't make sense, right?
It just goes hard. Malachi Black just goes the name Malachi it just goes hard, man. Alistair just sounds very hot topic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's why I'm like, I'll just call him Black, cause
Malachi Black gives me
is
black
just better.
metal vibes, bro. Malachi Black gives me black metal vibes. Throwback to high school, remember that? But now he's feuding against The Miz, and a lot of people often make fun of The Miz because he's a guy that they put in front of a lot of people starting on in the Fed. And I want to talk about how important The Miz is, and I'm sure you Flemix can add on how important The Miz is because that man was also practically our childhood.
Yeah, no, I agree. As a kid, I despised him. I was always rooting for the other, I guess, babyface over him because he was annoying. And I guess it made it work. He made it work. And obviously he's been an important thing. People just don't like him for his wrestling or whatever. But I mean, I guess you could say he made it out. And his goal was literally to be a wrestler. And I mean, he main evented WrestleMania, right?
Yes, and he went against John Cena. Imagine
Exactly.
that, John Cena. He went against John Cena. That must have been a lot of trust to place on The Miz.
Exactly. And he met his wife there. Shit, imagine having your dream job. Cause that was his dream job. He was bullied in the locker room. Obviously made it through. He didn't crash out. He didn't pretty much accept the failure and just quit. But no, he actually was a hustler. He did what he had to do. He did his job. He was appointed to be a main eventer. He did his job as a heel. He found his wife. Shit, I mean, for him to be discredited as a person, I don't think so. And I think it's unfair just for the justification that, yeah, I mean, his wrestling isn't the best, but I mean, it is the WWE.
That's literally what you have to expect. The Miz is a cinematic. He's a narrative wrestler, and he's there to tell a story. And the way he does that is by antagonizing the new guy, saying that you can't make it in the big leagues, boy. I run this shit. And they'll often like belittle him for his common roles, and he'll throw a fit, and everything he says he's right because he is that guy that helps elevate people. That's
He's
his
a veteran.
job, and he knows that. Hence why I think he's a future Hall of Famer. And he deserves it.
No, definitely. I think he's a veteran now at this point, but veteran in the aspect of how the WWE wants somebody to perform. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to make that no, it's not that he's one of the one of a kind. He's just pretty much
A good employee. The best
built
employee.
built by
An
the
exemplary employee.
exactly.
He's
And
an
obviously,
exemplary employee.
but that doesn't mean that I don't think that the feud with Malachi Black is the greatest thing. But you know what feud I would have wanted? Jay White versus The Miz.
At this point, might as well, right? That would have maybe unleashed Jay White's Switchblade persona from New Japan because AEW's Switchblade persona has been heavily watered down. I'm disappointed, man. I really am. I was such a big fan for Jay White, and I was super excited when he joined AEW because I was like, now I can finally see him more often because I was tired of having to hop hoops and bounce just to try to see a match of his. And now that he was in AEW, I was like, awesome. And just to see from his Ricky Starks debut to now, I'm like, damn. And it doesn't help that he had injuries too. He's injury prone, and for a light schedule, I'm kind of like, damn. So how? Either New Japan really damaged him, like softened him up after those years, or I don't know, man. It's interesting. Or who knows how his schedule is with AEW. I can't really speak on that. But it's just as a big fan of Jay White, it's disappointing where he's at right now, and I don't blame him. Accidents happen, but the booking as well.
But we'll see what happens with Jay White, honestly. Um, Same with something I'm not a fan of, and people could obviously help me out, educate me, tell me what's going on. Is the Christian Cage storyline? What's up with that? I don't know, cause I'm actually intrigued. You know, I was a super fan, I guess a fan of Christian, um, WWE, and I think I seen a little bit of his TNA run, but I don't know, like what's going on there? He obviously had like his quote unquote Money in the Bank contract thing, right? That he won, failed to pretty much cash it in with and got pinned or whatever
That was a fail.
by Moxley. But what's going on with the storyline? Illustrate me. Edúcame, but because
Nothing really. I'm sorry.
yeah, like edúcame, because it's like he's still with his whole the dinosaur.
Nothing really much is happening. To be honest, like I said, like the only reason why I'm kind of looking forward to Ring of Honor is because Nick Wayne is the ROH TV champion and he's connected to the patriarchy. So I don't know yet. I have often preached that ROH should be AEW's developmental, and I was really happy to see that Nick Wayne was the champion, and I hope he is shown often because they need to have their champions present every week, or else what the fuck? Like, where the champions at? Like, why is there a Ring of Honor champions appearing in AEW shows and not in their own brand? It's kind of like you're walking around with repping another brand elsewhere, but not in the brand you're at. I
Hasn't
don't
that
know.
been a big issue with ROH though?
Yes, it
Like
has,
the
and
champions don't show up, and
I've
it's
written
kind
two
of
videos about that. I made two videos on my complaints with ROH, but here I am still that one partner in a toxic relationship hoping for Ring of Honor to change their ways. And I'm still
uh,
there eating shit.
I really feel bad for you and your 19 other people that watch ROH.
But it's all good. Again, it's all a hobby. I like talking wrestling with you guys. I have a happy life outside. So we're good. We're good
At
here,
least you
right?
touch grass, right? Am I right?
Every time, brother, every time.
Speaking.
Sometimes concrete full of piss and shit because of public safety. Anyway, continue.
Um, One of the things is obviously the nostalgia run with John Cena. Like I think I mentioned it in the first episode. On the whole, on his heel run. But like I said, this is where the nostalgia hits me, and I really do want him to have a feud with CM Punk. Now that he's obviously getting a one-time feud, obviously with Randy Orton. Let's be honest, it's super predictable. And I want to talk about Backlash too. That has been really bad. But I digress. Nostalgia hits me, and I really want to see it. I don't want to see any interferences. I don't want to see any like doo-doo cinematic
What match are we talking about?
John Cena and Randy Orton. I just want these fools to like. I know Cena's washed, right, compared to Randy Orton, but I just want
Brother,
him to have like a nostalgia feeling, and that's it. That's the only thing I expect from that match, and I really want to expect. I do expect CM Punk to be, you know, at least get a title shot with
I hate
Cena.
I hate to burst your bubble, buddy, but that ain't gonna happen. John Cena literally said he ain't gonna wrestle, brother. It's his gimmick. He's gonna
No,
cheat. It's gonna
but
be a shitty match.
I don't want to see Travis Scott or another
God, knowing the
celebrity just
Fed,
come in the ring between these two. Just like keep it. I don't know.
knowing the Fed, I could see it happening just because it's John Cena. John Cena's not gonna wrestle, bro. He's in that career where he's just like, I'm gonna piss you off that I'm not gonna wrestle as hard. I'm gonna do the bare minimum and find means to win.
I don't know, man.
Unfortunately,
Backlash.
we're gonna see. Well, look, this is the first. Think of it like this. Think of it as an experimental route for the WWE. We already seen heel Orton and face Cena. Now we're gonna flip the roles. We're gonna see a heel Cena versus face Orton. That is weird. We never thought we'd ever see that.
You're right.
We never thought we'd ever see that. I mentioned it on Threads, and I saw it in a comment on YouTube as well. And I apologize for getting close to the microphone, but it's like watching heel Goku versus face Vegeta. That's literally what it is. So it's gonna be an interesting match. I don't expect it to be a 5-star classic. Dave Meltzer 5-star classic. I just expect it to cause an emotion, really.
I know. I don't know. To be honest, Backlash more like back ass. Yo, sorry, wasn't funny, but it's just really bad, dude. They have Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Brother, please tell me this isn't. That's so bad, dude. This pay-per-view or PLE ass, dude. Ass.
Where's it gonna
And I
be at?
started and I started noticing a trend. Sorry, that every single time somebody goes to an interview and they're like, "Yeah, I signed a new deal with the WWE." Do they not get like once they sign the new deal, it's like a humiliation afterwards. It's like Chad Gable. He should have
Mm.
won the IC champion against Gunther. He won, and he was going up, and then it's just kind of going low, because he didn't capitalize on that. And to me, it's like Gunther went from reigning IC champion, number one, great championship run he had. World heavyweight champion was mid because the booking was bad, so I blame Triple H on that. So fighting a commentator is just terrible, dude. All sorts of bad.
Man, I mean, production. You know what they say. They're these productions, but we'll see what they're gonna do about that. We're gonna see what the machine's gonna do. But now we're gonna talk about CMLL and AEW
And
selling out NMA.
it's not a pay-per-view. Keep in mind. It's
It's
just
just
a
a regular
dynamite.
dynamite.
Exactly. Which is the crazy part. And it just shows that our people, man, are Mexicanos, man. They just like wrestling. And that kind of puts a middle finger to WWE for not capitalizing on having a PLE on Mexico yet. And AEW took an opportunity of it, and they literally sold out.
And then, which that brings is Konnan crashing out.
Oh yeah, I've seen him crashing out on Twitter, where they kind of make fun of him for the AAA style, and he's just yawning. But my perspective is, what is he gonna gain out of it? Like, like what is he gaining? Because majority of the people are like straight up with him, and it's like, all right, buddy, let's see if you hold this job title for any time longer. So I don't know what his expectation is. Is he like meat writing? Obviously, he's meat writing the WWE now. Curry obviously has a grudge against Tony Khan, but it's not. It's like Tony Khan is just like whatever. It's just like cool, I guess, doing his own thing. So shout out to TK for not ignoring it.
He hasn't really been showing any phasing about it. That's what I've admired about AEW lately. They've been doing their own thing. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. I will be watching. So one thing I want to talk about is, are you a AEW Sicko, Flemix?
No, I'm just I'm a TNA fan.
I can't. We can't even talk about that because no sé. You point at your nose. How do you say nose in Spanish?
Nariz?
My bad. The joke went the other way around. How do you say I don't know in Spanish?
No sé.
Okay, now how do you spell nose?
No sé.
There you go. Exactly. You get it, people? How do you say I don't know in Spanish? No
Nose.
sé. No.
Nose. I don't think I'm an AEW fan. I just like watching them occasionally, especially their pay-per-views for free, but not illegally. Remember, guys, you gotta do things right. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, wink. Man, well, I had an interaction on Blue Sky, man. The one platform that where can I don't know where to start with that, but anyway, I posted a meme of, you know, that Hotline Bling meme where it's like
Yes.
the one that says yes and no. So the no, I put AEW Sicko, and then the yes, AEW fan. And I just had to say it, and I had a whole ass conversation with, oh man, I'd have to open the app. But they just literally say, you're a sicko, take the card. I'm like, no, I disagree.
Are you an AEW sicko?
No,
Why
I
not?
am I am an AEW fan.
Isn't it for the sickos? Isn't it for you hardcore fans? Isn't it for you guys who love it for the game?
I'm not an AEW sicko, brother.
Do you,
Anytime MVP and the Hurt Syndicate come out and address AEW audience, I pay attention because I am an AEW fan. I'm an AEW audience. I am not an AEW sicko.
I don't know, man. I don't have anything to say because, like I said, I don't think I'm a sicko. I'm just a TNA fan.
Sí,
Who's
güey.
brother? Who watches TNA, man?
I don't know, bro. A lot of people on Threads still be reviewing. I saw a lot of reviews throughout the TNA Rebellion show that took place here in LA. But speaking of that, that could have been an interesting plot for that day.
Yeah, we should have gone, but
And
you know how busy I am.
we gotta deal with a lot of stuff. That's the reason why it took us a cool minute to start this podcast. But yeah. What about introducing new talent without vignettes? What do you think
Kind of
about
sucks,
that?
no? Kind of sucks,
So
no?
what's gonna happen in AEW Dynamite, man? You see, I can't be a sicko, man. I don't know from the top of my head what's gonna happen tonight.
All right, tell me.
So I ran into a post that there's a new wrestler being introduced in AEW, I believe. And again, same criticism. Who's this? And there is a site of fans that say, look him up. Okay, cool. Some people will look it up, some people won't. And I made a point that because a lot of people are insisting, look it up. Okay, that kind of just tells me. Tell me you've never worked in customer service without telling me you've never worked in customer service. It's basic customer service. So surprisingly, nobody else does it, and that's okay. That's just what you deal with in customer service. And I feel like that's what that's AEW as a promoter, Tony Khan. Their job is to promote who that person is. Why are they important? You get me? I literally said the sad reality. It's like basic customer service. You ask the front desk clerk what time it is when the clock is literally staring right at you. Obviously, you wouldn't want to be made to feel like an idiot. You would rather be treated nice. Am I right?
You're right. You're right. I agree with you. It's more of like, oh, hey, there's somebody interested in what I like. Let me kind of help them out and tell them what's up. Obviously, you're not gonna like put like a full detail, but obviously it's just like a little, oh, like this is X and this is from, if you want to check it out here. And then if you want to put obviously the time out of your day where you kind of like give them a little clips. But to each their own, you get me? Like, I would ask you because I'm kind of new to this and I'm kind of where I was new to this and I'm kind of being led to like, oh, who's this and what's this? What's the new promotion? What's this
Okay,
and
so
that?
I
And
found
people,
out the
and
name.
obviously like you are gonna like tell me, but obviously because you're my friend and you're the homie. So
I'll be honest. There are some names I don't even know, to be honest. So I'm also learning on the fly. Again, I'm those people that do look it up, but again, as someone that's worked in customer service for a long time, I just know that's not how everybody functions. You know, so um, oh yeah, it was a match with Miyu. It's some Joshi from PJPW. So they're coming in a Dynamite, and they were asking who that is, and so shout out to Wrestle Snark. You know, you are one of my favorite threaders. He threaded out saying, I just always think of all the people on the AEW roster that I'd rather see opposed to someone who will be gone tomorrow. It's the same thing as a local talent for me. I'm a story character guy and I'm invested in the stories and characters on the AEW roster more. I'll tune in, maybe they'll do something interesting. Tony is always fun to watch. I just personally would rather had someone I'm familiar with, but I accept that AEW does this from time to time and still just deal with it. I responded with, what people forget is that the story itself in pro wrestling is a brand being established between the promoter and the talent. Character development. Think about that. A lot of stories develop a wrestler, not only from a character standpoint, but as an actor, you learn something about yourself. While you're portraying or something, either something else or something maxed out that you don't ever let out. It's just something that just requires a reflection. But that's just what I think. I think so. Again, I've also not, even though I accepted that AEW is like an action movie and WWE is like watching a novela, a soap opera. I still think that stories are important because it still establishes a brand of AEW and the talent themselves, because again, that's all archives in the wrestler's resume and the archives of the AEW library, because it happened in AEW. That's what they showcased. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, that's just what I wanted to let out. Those are just things that I wanted to air out and address. Again, if you guys do want to talk about it, again, I will make time and talk about with you guys of what I just discussed. You know, I'm not the type of guy to really be closed. I will open and listen to your ideas. So, yeah, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think of what we discussed about.
Great, man. But anyways, guys, I think the TakeOn has to leave because he has to pack his things. Kind of did this kind of really quick. It wasn't much news, but I do hope him a safe travels. I hope you have fun with you and your
Wish
girlfriend. Hopefully you guys buy me a little souvenir there.
you
If
already know.
not, then
Give me y'all
you give me
prayers.
like,
Give me y'all prayers. First time in an airplane, so Give me your
That'll,
prayers, man.
that'll be exciting. Hopefully next week everything goes well. We do week 3 and I don't get lazy and I lock in again. Cause,
Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.
thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.